So what is the future of Time Warner? You are watching this program on CNN, which is a channel owned by Time Warner. But a few weeks ago, CNN's fate and Time Warner's future were both thrown into question thanks to this man, Rupert Murdoch. He's the chief executive of 21st Century Fox. He's the man who decided to launch Fox News. Some liberals loathe him, some conservatives celebrate him. He is a polarizing guy. And earlier this summer, he made an out-of-the-blue $80 billion bid for Time Warner. But Time Warner CEO Jeff Bewkes quickly rebuffed him, and this week he seemed to throw in the towel. Murdoch told Time Warner he was walking away. So the question is, should we believe him? What happens next? Let me ask a man who has covered Murdoch's career for decades, New Yorker media writer extraordinaire Ken Auletta. Ken, here on this program last month, I said I would eat a copy of the Murdoch-owned New York Post if Murdoch ended up owning CNN. So do I no longer have to worry about how to digest a tabloid souffle?
Not unless you're very hungry.
Tell me where you think things go now that Murdoch says he's backing off.
Well, I do think at some point, I suspect that Time Warner will be sold. I mean, they have been a seller. They sold off AOL, they got rid of Time Warner Cable, they got rid of Time Inc., the publication. So I think they are a potential seller. But the question is, who's the buyer? I take Murdoch at his word that right now he doesn't plan to buy it. He felt it hurt his stock. The stock price plummeted, which made it largely impossible for him to afford to raise that initial bid of $85 a share.
Yeah, at the very same time that Time Warner's stock soared, making it even further out of reach.
And now what has happened is that with Murdoch pulling back, Time Warner stock deflates some and Murdoch stock rises some. But it's hard to imagine that if he tried to make a bid again, that the same thing wouldn't happen, that his stock would not drop and Time Warner would become more expensive. And so therefore, here's an impasse. But I still think we're back to that same question. I believe that Time Warner's real game plan was they don't want to sell now. But if they sold, and I think they are prepared to sell in a year or two or three, the question is, who would the bidders be? And that's a really big question.
And all this matters, of course, because we're talking about one of the biggest media companies in the world. Time Warner not only controls CNN, but also TNT, TBS, HBO, Warner Brothers Studio. So who might other buyers be a year or 2 or 3 years from now?
Well, you could imagine that Comcast, if it digests Time Warner Cable, might well want to be a buyer. Whether the government would allow that is another question. You can imagine that AT&T, if it successfully digests DirecTV, the satellite television provider, might well want to buy it and have content because they're buying another platform. And then you look at CBS would love to buy it, but they can't afford it. Disney could afford to buy it, but why would they when they've been very successful, and particularly successful with smaller purchases? Then you say, well, what about the digital companies? Well, Google and Amazon and Apple could afford to do it. But why would they want to do it? They are neutral Switzerland platforms where they buy content from everyone in order to display on their platforms. Why would they want to be identified with a particular content provider and therefore risk not being able to purchase content from other providers?
Let's wrap up where we started with Rupert Murdoch. Is this a defeat for him, a rare defeat in his long career? Should we look at it that way?
Well, it's certainly different for him. I mean, what he's done now twice in the last year and a half is listen to the shareholders, which is something he never did before. He acted arbitrarily and brilliantly in most cases to build his successful company. But now what he said, by breaking up News Corp into 2 different companies, he said, why did I do it? In order to get enhanced shareholder value. And why did he step away from his attempted acquisition of Time Warner? To enhance shareholder value. That is very much not like the Rupert Murdoch we've become accustomed to.
Ken Auletta, thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure.
For the foreseeable future, this is over. But don't be surprised if it's back in the headlines months or years down the road.